Hey guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we just spent our 4th of July weekend renovating my 4x8 Teardrop camper. It went from bland to bling, and we're gonna show you everything we did to this. The little painting, a little flooring, a little remodeling. It's freaking awesome. Let's dive right in. So here's a couple shots of the walls before Caitlin started painting. You can see they're a bit scuffed up, need some love, no big deal. Caitlin was very quick to grab her paintbrush and start going to town, and boy, can I say, what a great painter Caitlin is. No masking tape, no nothing. She just cuts in like she's a pro, and she has absolutely no idea I was filming there, so that was funny. Got a little jump scare out of her, and now you can see her going to town with the roller here. And just what an absolutely quick and amazing transformation just adding a little bit of paint does to this. Man, it looks so good, and she's not even finished. Here you can see her going to town on this wall. All the scuffs just go away almost instantly right before your eyes as I watch in amazement here at just how freaking awesome this paint looks. And then after the first coat of paint, we decide that it's probably high time to change the floors. So here we can see Caitlin ripping out the trim very carefully so as to not destroy her beautiful paint job. But we had to remove some of these old vinyl tiles. And it turns out vinyl glue never really actually dries. It kind of stays sticky and gross. So that's something we had to constantly deal with in this. But we got all the trim out here, and that's what it looks like. And then on to the next step, which is cleaning. We decided we just kind of wanted to clean as we go, so we vacuumed out. There was a lot of just dust and debris from over the years under the trailer here, so got that out with the vacuum all around the edges, everything like that, looking good. And here's where we discovered that the floor was actually put in first, and all of the walls were put on top of that, and we're learning that we're gonna have to cut out this linoleum. Wasn't planning on that, but pretty easy fix. Just ended up taking a really sharp razor blade and scoring it as best I could along the edges there, trying to get as tight into the grooves as I can. And yeah, there was a little bit of this kind of peel and stick vinyl tile on top of the linoleum, so we had to peel that up, and apparently that glue never dries. It just kind of stays sticky, which may end up biting me in the butt in the end of this here. But then I had to put it back so I could get to the other side and score underneath that door, which also involved me removing this tile, but realized I didn't have to remove the whole darn thing to score underneath the door jamb there, all in hopes to get this vinyl out in one piece and not have a disaster. And with any remodel, you really have no idea what is going to happen until you start doing it, and we were really worried that there was going to be a lot of this vinyl glue underneath this piece of linoleum. Fortunately, there wasn't. So this actually came out very easily. We were shocked, and we're just trying to do our best to rip this out without scuffing up the fresh coat of paint that we put on there, and realized probably be a good idea to take off this vinyl tile. You can see how sticky it is, and we're trying to do our best to not touch it to get it out there, but we finally managed. It was an experience, and it was very sticky, but we got it done. Then it's just a matter of folding up the old vinyl. Again, trying to not scuff the walls and also trying to not get any more sticky glue on us as possible. And finally ended up getting the linoleum out, and that is what we had as our result. And unfortunately, against our best efforts, Caitlin still ended up getting some glue on her shoe. But, so fortunately, the floor has zero sticky, no, maybe not zero, but 99.9% not sticky. And it looks like the guy that built this siliconed in between the joints. So I think it actually looks exponentially better than I thought. We're just now going to go, and by we I mean Caitlin, because she's doing most of this. Cinderella here with the toothbrush. We're just going to clean in all the corners and clean out everything the best we can before we can move on to the next step. And yeah, there was a lot of stuff in these corners that needed to really have a good scrub in there, and Caitlin did a great job with the toothbrush. Again, just trying to get the floor as clean as possible before we installed the linoleum flooring that we picked out. Then she went ahead and went back, hit it with a cloth just to get up any debris that we might have missed there. And then on to the windows that needed a bit of love too there, spraying some just a little cleaning solution in the kind of the tracks of the windows just to get out the years of just stuff that collects in horizontal surfaces, and scrubbing away there. My little Cinderella did an absolutely great job, and the whole darn thing looks so much better after a good scrub like that. So very, very happy with the result. And after a good scrub, you gotta sweep everything up. So just using a little dust broom and dustpan, just getting up all the loose debris from the floor there. No big deal. It's all about prep when you're doing floors. So then we went ahead and hit it with the shop vac just to get any last debris out of the corners and cracks of the floor there. Then it's on to the second coat of paint, and while Caitlin's doing a great job painting, I figured I could do my best to stay out of her way while still being productive. We decided to reuse the trim, so I just was outside just kind of cleaning up. There was some construction adhesive on the back of the trim and a little bit of paint, so I just kind of cleaned it off with a bit of a razor blade, and that was pretty easy. And I think we are on about done with the paint. Here's a bit of the trim after the fact. We just went ahead and labeled everything on a piece of plywood while everything dried, and that is the result. And I think now it's time for some flooring. We went ahead and cut the linoleum a little bit oversized for the floor just so we can cut it into the wall. Here we are laying it out. Now, while I do have 15 years of experience in the tile industry, specifically ceramic, porcelain, and stone, I have never used linoleum or installed linoleum in my life. But here we are doing our best to get everything centered and laid out the way we want. Needed to be shifted over a little bit. I think we found what to us looks good. And the next step is to go ahead and trim it all down with a razor blade, trying to be as precise as possible. You only get one shot at this, otherwise you get to go buy more. But it worked out fairly good for the most part, until I may have screwed one part up, but there's a little bit of a fix for that we found right here as I'm cutting underneath this door trim. I might have cut it a little too short, and yeah, we'll get back to that in a minute. The front of the trailer has a bit of a radius, so this part was kind of tricky for me. Curves are my nemesis. But I just took it slow and just made a bunch of little cuts, and then cut off the excess linoleum as I went. It was a tedious process, but after screwing up underneath the door jamb, I decided to maybe not use quite so much KMRD brute force and maybe take a little bit more time while I do this, because I didn't really feel like going back to Home Depot and buying another piece of linoleum and starting all over again. But Caitlin had a great solution for my screw up that we'll see here in a bit. Now this part here was a bit trickier for me, as I have that 12-volt wire coming up from under the floor. Again, never working with linoleum. This is all new, and you only get one shot, so had to cut around that wire and make a little hole, all just using a razor blade, but you'll see here a little bit later. I think I actually did a pretty good job at this. And now we are coming on the point of no return. Here I am peeling away the first half of the linoleum, and we're gonna start troweling down our glue. Now we bought, I think this is a pint or a quart, whatever, but the coverage said a little over 100 square feet, so we're like, yeah, this should be fine. Not accounting for these boards in the floor they're kind of beveled, so this floor ate up an incredible amount of this glue. You can see the big gaps in the floors all filled with glue. Now, coming from the tile industry, I'm used to working with thin set mortar, which wouldn't be a problem filling those gaps. But in hindsight, knowing what I know now after the fact, I don't think linoleum glue ever actually dries to a hard surface. I think it pretty much stays tacky its whole life. So this might have been a mistake filling those cracks in with this glue, but we're just gonna muscle on and do our best, see what happens. And just half of this floor, all 16 square feet, took that entire bucket of glue. But it's getting late in the day. We're getting hot. We're wanting to get this thing done, so we're just gonna make it happen. And now it's time to glue down the first half of the floor. I went ahead and held it up as Caitlin firmly glues the beautiful linoleum floor down to our subfloor. And we're just smoothing it out with our hands according to one YouTube video on the internet. If you got a small area, you can kind of just smooth it out with your hands and trying to get all the bubbles out and stuff and get it seated as best as we can. And after yet another trip to Home Depot to buy yet another bucket of glue, we proceeded to trowel out the floor in preparation for gluing down the front half of the linoleum. This one a little bit smoother than the back half, just kind of getting a little more familiar with the linoleum as we go. And then we start putting it down. And here's where we can kind of really start seeing the fruits of our labor, and gosh, it's looking pretty good. I didn't own a nail gun before this, and now I own a nail gun. Fortunately, they were on sale, 4th of July weekend and all. So I bought this Ryobi nail gun that's powered by the same batteries as all my other Ryobi tools. And probably went a little overboard with the nailing there, but when you get a new nail gun, you kind of want to play with your new nail gun. So went ahead and tacked in all the trim there, going to town. It was pretty great. And now we get to step back and marvel at our accomplishments. Everything's looking great except one tiny little problem. Remember I said I screwed up underneath the door jamb? Yeah, that's what it looks like. But fortunately, Caitlin had a great solution. Quarter round. Does a couple things. Covers up my mistake, and actually there was a little bit of a gap between the door jamb and the floor anyway, so a lot of dust collected there. So this ended up turning out to be a good solution. Will it be a toe jammer? Time will tell. Then it's on to the finishing touches. I reinstalled the bar. This is what allows us to have a bit of support when we go turn the bed into couch mode. So that worked out great. Then I installed, these are 3D printed cell phone holders, and there's also a holder for the Amazon Fire TV remote. Got those put back on. Screwed in the wires there for both the 12 volts coming in to the trailer from the battery box up front. That's the black wires for the TV there, and you can see how good I did cutting the hole in the floor. I'm pretty proud of that one myself. Then I screwed back on the cargo net, went ahead and put back all the junk that we store in the cargo net. That's just kind of all the stuff that we keep in the trailer all the time. Went ahead and put my 3D printed drawers back in underneath the shelf. Remounted the TV. Everything is looking good. And now here's a look at the trailer when we're in couch mode. Everything is looking good, functioning properly. And as you can see up front, when it's in couch mode, we've got all kinds of room for activities. But when it's time for bed, you just lay the couch out into bed mode and turns into a nice twin size bed that is actually not terribly uncomfortable. Well, after 3 long days, we did it. She did most of it, honestly. What do you think?
I think it looks amazing.
It's like night and day. Just when you started painting, just like over here, there was like all that stuff, and just seeing it go from that kind of just worn out paint. I mean, this camper's been very much loved. It just needed to be freshened up. And this paint, this is Valspar Tambourine is the color. In satin?
Yeah.
Sure, who cares? But just watching her paint, was just like, you could just see the transformation right away. And then the flooring, I initially wanted like a really light, like beige or something, but weren't a lot of options in linoleum. So we went with this, and it was cheap and it looks great. So it's just
So much better.
it's like ours now, you know. We made it ours. Just touching up, couple fresh coats of paint and some new flooring, and a couple screw ups along the way, but some fixes. So that is what we did to the Teardrop. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Mike.
I'm Caitlin,
Thanks so much for watching Ham Radio 2. We'll see you next time. 73.
73.